In today's video, I'll be going over why the actions of certain video game YouTubers make it hard for the viewer, like myself, to ever fully believe that they are ever being 100% honest and genuine. This isn't anything new, like clearly if you've gone on YouTube you've seen a lot of phony people, but I just thought it was a little bit eye-opening. I found something the other day, and I've noticed things over the last year or so about the integrity of a YouTuber. The other day, I was looking just for no apparent reason, and I noticed our friend OEB Pete, who now goes by Classy Gaming Fun, his sub count had skyrocketed. I was like, holy geez, good for Pete. You know, in case you don't know who OEB Pete is or was, he was a strange, unique individual, I'll leave it at that, who had made almost daily videos about the Amico for almost a year. And he pivoted off of them and now does mostly Evercade videos, and his sub count was always pretty low. And just the other day I looked and it was at 10,000. I was like, holy crap, like did any of his videos go viral? Like sometimes that happens. You get one video which gets like millions of views just because. So I went to go check on good old Pete's PD, as Carl says he likes being called, on PD's social blade there. And as you can see on the screen, in the last month, he's shot up 5,000 subs. I was like, holy crap. And it wasn't just in one shot. As you can see, it's spread out over the course of the month. And it was really crazy. The day that I took the screenshot, he was at 1,800 new subs in one day. I was like, holy, how's that happen? Like, that's amazing. And I had looked, and as you can see on this screenshot here, his views aren't, crazy high. And his latest video at that point was chasing high scores on Minky Monkey, and had 10,000 views. And I'm like, well, first of all, what the hell's Minky Monkey? And is it really that popular of a game that 10,000 people would look at? But the fact that was his only video in the last day, and his sub count went up 1,800, quite suspicious in my opinion. And I know people give Pete the benefit of the doubt because he gives the appearance of a nice guy, and doesn't swear or cut down other people in his videos, maybe in the chat, but not in the videos. I thought it was really weird, especially because when you look at the social blade, how it was spread out over a period of time, and his views over the month were nothing crazy. Like he had nothing that went viral. So it's very odd that a 10,000 view video of a topic that's obscure would net 1,800 new subs. What was really funny is the next day, when I had looked on Pete's channel just to see if it skyrocketed even higher, you'll notice that his subs will go up a little bit, but that Minky Monkey video is down to 8,300 views. So he lost 1,700 views in one night. That sends off red flags, alarm bells to me that this guy is buying views and subs. YouTube's detected that he had fake views, so they took it away from him. And if you go 2 days later, which is today, you'll notice that that Minky Monkey video has not grown at all. It's still at 8.3K. And his latest video, the Asteroids Recharge, which you would think would be a much hotter topic because it is more relevant, only has 89 views in 7 hours. So why would Minky Monkey have 10,000 views or 8,300 views in one day, yet Tari, which is much more popular, only has 89? So my conclusion is that the guy is buying fake subs and fake views. My opinion, it's not fact because I don't know anything for a fact, but it's just very suspicious. And it's things like that. It causes me to question this guy's integrity. And he's not the only one. There's a lot of other people who have fake subs and fake views, and so I'm just using him because it's an easy example. So I'm not gonna only say it's only this one guy. But it makes me wonder, well, if he's willing to buy fake subs, is his reviews, as you can see on his video channel there, are they going to be accurate? Like, is he going to be honest about his Evercade reviews and the other stuff he has, his little mini arcade there that he has from 5 days ago? Are those going to be honest and genuine? Because if the guy isn't really honest with his own channel sub count and his views, it feels that he has to buy them to pump up the numbers. Is he going to be okay with just having a negative review on a product? And I wonder also, just because it fascinates me, is this, why does someone do something like this? Is it because he's insecure and feels that he needs to have higher numbers just to prove himself as a bigger channel or compare himself to the bigger channels? Is it something like an addiction where you're addicted to get continually growing, and when things go stale that you have to buy something just to make yourself feel good, to give you that endorphin rush of, oh, I'm growing, look how big my channel is, even though it's all fake? Is he doing it just to have bigger numbers so he can get free shit from different companies, so that when they see, because they don't know about who he is, so then when they see, oh, this guy has a 10,000 sub count, I'm going to send him free little games and little arcades and whatever else? Is it him just being desperate, to be relevant and to not want to admit that his channel is small and obscure? This is what causes the mistrust in someone like myself, because now I'm questioning if this guy is just pandering to either a large audience or else to the company itself just to get free shit sent his way. And Pete's always been the obvious, shill, as the people would say, because remember the time he got excited for Care Bears?
Care Bears, Care Bears, Care Bears, Care Bears.
So myself, I did get an Evercade VS Founders Edition, and I've had it for a few months and have not put too much time into it. And at some point, hopefully in the near future, I'll give an honest review of the system. And it falls between, it's not on one end of the spectrum like where Pete glowingly says it's an awesome thing. It's not that good. But on the same note, it's not as bad as someone like Canadian Gamer who's lately been crapping on it and saying it's a piece of shit. He's just saying that to try to get reaction and maybe stir the pot or whatever. It's not that bad either. It falls in between somewhere. And I just wish more people would just give an honest review. It's okay to give something a score of C, not A+, not F. It's okay to give things a C or C+ score. And that's what this would fall under. And moving forward, I hope to do more reviews, because eventually the Amico stuff will go away and I'll have more free time to make other videos. And I want people to be able to come onto my channel and just say, hey, this is a real review, not trying to shit on something to create drama or else blow it because it's so awesome because I want free stuff. I just want people to what the... Is this good or bad? And not have to second guess it. At the time when Pete was really going hard on the Intellivision Amico, had Tommy said anything, he would have praised it. If Tommy said, we're making an actual piece of shit kart racer, he would have went crazy for it also. But for other YouTubers, it's a bit more difficult to detect. And I first noticed this watching a video on a YouTuber that I used to really like watching, was The Last Gamer. And I've brought this one up a few times. And he had an episode where he talked about how Nintendo was going to give him a Nintendo Switch to review before it came out. But they said he had to follow a script exactly and couldn't deviate when giving the review. And The Last Gamer, who actually has integrity and wanted to be honest to his audience, wouldn't comply with that. And the moment he said he wouldn't follow the script, they canceled sending him a review unit. However, for a few other popular and very trusting game YouTubers, and I've used this clip a few times where it shows Victor Lucas and the Happy Console Gamer, both guys that people trust. They give the appearance of being 100% honest and genuine, and I'm pretty sure they're good guys. But when The Last Gamer uploaded this clip, it really changed my mind on trusting just anyone.
They were fairly nice. They sent me an email outlining what I have to say about the Switch and only talking about the box. This was part of the embargo or agreement. See, I wasn't allowed to show the Switch online. I was only allowed to unbox it and show the console. I couldn't actually show the graphics or play a game or anything like that. And then when I read the embargo, I have to talk favorably about the Switch. I have to talk about how the box looks awesome and compact. There was so much there that there's no room for my opinion, and I did not like this. When I questioned Nintendo, they said, don't worry, we're not sending you a Switch now. So I went down another avenue, my contact in Japan. In the meantime, I saw a lot of unboxing videos on YouTube, and it made me cringe because all I could see was Nintendo's words.
The Switch box, wow, it's not that big. It's not that big, and it's It's lovely. I love it.
Take it out. I gotta go, guys.
Look at that thing.
I'll see you later.
That is something to covet right there, isn't it?
Now, pretty much every YouTuber who got a Switch uploaded their video on the 23rd of February.
Right now.
Look how small this is.
That's great packaging.
It's really good packaging.
I want to...
Sweet, beautiful Switch. Look how cute this little tiny cartridge is.
Because everything's so small.
It is so small,
The
but
games are small.
don't you-
so light too.
Packaging is as sleek as your console, but the Switch is never going back in there.
It feels pretty solid. It's a nice substantial feel.
Is how this sort of stands up to some abuse. I mean, it feels robust, right? Like feel the heft
this
of that.
is so. I can't say it enough how beautiful this is.
It's so sleek, right?
It's so sleek.
Yes.
It's like,
It's so little, it's like the size of an SD card.
That is beautiful.
look how small that is.
That is beautiful.
Everything is small with this machine.
You know, I understand why people go crazy because it's Nintendo sending them good stuff, so they want that free stuff. But it's not too different from Nintendo, Xbox, Sony. I'm sure they pay big gaming sites extra money for advertising on their site if they do a positive review on certain games. We've seen that happen in the past, so I expect that from the bigger sites. Not that I think it's right, but I understand when a company gives them a big chunk of money that they're probably going to say nice stuff about them. But when it comes to the little YouTubers, it's a little disappointing that what people will, I'm not going to say whore themselves out, maybe it is, but will say anything just to get a few free little games. And I noticed this, like watching other channels, I know certain trends when people would get certain games or hardware. It's clear that in many of these cases that they're given also a template to use, because they'll give the same type of reviews and they're usually overly glowing on how awesome the thing is, even if it's just like a mediocre, like on the appearance of being a mediocre product. They'll give a glowing review and will give the same minor negatives on the product. And I assume they do this because they don't want to anger the company, or else perhaps anger the audience, and out of fear that they're going to lose out on getting future products sent to them. And that's why I like the Last Gamer guy. He just went and bought his own Switch to give an honest review of the Switch. He wouldn't sell himself out just to save $300-400 on the price of a Switch. And you'll notice that too. Sometimes certain products, which you think might be a so-and-so product, will get universally given like a great review. Then other times, I've noticed when they're given products without any guidelines, and then you'll see some negativity. And I just remember last year when seeing a bunch of our familiar channels that we go to get a copy of the Ghouls and Ghosts, the Resurrected, the one that came out last year. And a whole bunch of the people who typically, say really awesome things about games had crapped on the game and really downplayed it. Now, I know the game wasn't a world beater itself, and it's not, perfection or anything, but it wasn't that bad of a game. And considering that these people crapped on that game, yet praised completely the extremely obscure, mediocre games on the Evercade, it makes me question, are these guys giving real reviews or not? Because, Ghouls and Ghosts at least was unique, and it was decent, but why are you going crazy over that Evercade cartridge about obscure European platformer that's terrible? They're like, well, this is great, this is the best. It's not consistent. So a different type of YouTuber I've noticed, genre of YouTuber gamers, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is that it's the ones who try to get every single limited run game. I guess this goes back to Pete also, but others too, where they try to get the limited run like games or like the obscure titles for free, and they overly praise each one of them, and everyone has to be a must buy. And then they'll have a whole bunch of hidden gem videos, and for real, there is real hidden gem games, but it's just that it feels that at this point that those guys had created a few videos that did generate traction, and now they're just trying to continue the success of those original videos. So that at this point they're just hunting down every most obscure title that they can find on Google, and they make videos about how it's a hidden gem, and they'll speak so glowingly of even the most weird shovelware games in which you are a piece of bread trying to make your way into a toaster, and insist that this is a must-own game, gotta buy it now. And there's a whole bunch of people who are doing things like this, but you see these guys and they'll buy 20 games in a week. Are you actually playing each of those games? Because it's how do you have time to play every single game? It's almost impossible. It just seems like they're just trying to find something weird that they can talk about and say, this is great, buy it. And I remember going on a live stream of one of those guys, and he was just going to Amazon and just blindly searching obscure games and saying, oh yeah, you should buy this because it's $30, a good deal, $20. And some of those games are good. Like I played Huntdown, and that was well worth the lower price, but some of those games are just absolutely terrible. And really, just do people really want to play every single obscure game just because there's a physical copy of it? I'm just guessing that these guys are so scared of losing out on the algorithm by not constantly pumping out the same type of videos over and over again that it becomes routine to them. And if they may have had passion at the beginning, but a lot of the times it looks like the passion has gone and everything just feels so forced and like generic from them. And that's disappointing. Like, I guess they become dependent on that YouTube money. It should just be a hobby, in my opinion. You should not have to rely purely on YouTube to pay your bills. And if you've lost interest, maybe, pivot to something different, something that would give you interest. It may have less views, but at least you'll have fun doing it instead of just looking like a zombie out there pumping the same stuff. And once again, as a viewer, you can tell from these, like, when people have interest and when they lose interest, just because the energy level usually is a lot lower on their videos. So it makes it hard for when they pump out those videos to actually take what they say serious, because I'm just assuming that they're giving these positive reviews because they want more free copies of these games and they just want to continue hoping, to keep that success and get that YouTube money. Which brings me full circle back to our friend Pete. He's an easy example for someone on YouTube, in my opinion, that doesn't have much integrity. I don't think he's a malicious guy or a horrible human being or, like the worst person in the world. I just find it pretty low that for so long of a period of time that a guy like him would support the Amico, and then one day he changed his name and hides almost all of his videos in which he had dedicated hundreds of hours and made God knows how many of them, and just they all disappeared the next day. If he truly stood by the product and was really a fan of Tommy and the Amico, then he would be proud of his time supporting them and would keep those videos online. It's not like what he had posted was controversial or him being mean to anyone, kind of like my videos where, it's not nice. They are videos of a guy excited about playing games like Pong again. There's no harm in that. So this leads me to the conclusion that either A, the guy is a complete phony and truly didn't give a shit about the Amico. B, he wants to disassociate with the Amico, hence the name change and hiding the videos. And he does like the Amico, but his fear of losing fans makes him succumb to peer pressure and hide what he really likes and display what he thinks what an audience would like. Or C, Tommy stopped paying him, so he said, "See ya, Tommy." So it doesn't explain why he suddenly has no association with them. You would stand by your team. Like, if you're a true fan of, I'll use a sports analogy here. Sometimes people are, fair weather fans is what they call them. So if your team is doing good and making the playoffs, people jump on the bandwagon. But the real fans are like the ones who will stick with the team even when they're winless and just in the dumps, and will stand by them even though they are crappy. If they really truly did love that team, they'd stand by them. So he might be a fair weather guy. Either way, I wouldn't trust him with his Evercade videos now. This is Pete. What's to say a year down the road he hides all those videos and start pumping the tires of some other product that has come out? It doesn't seem like I can trust the guy. And it's not like he was deceived or duped or anything and made a video where he said, "Oh, it was all lies." He had so many videos in close contact with Tommy and all those questions and answers and everything. He was so far in, he should own it. Maybe if he's not happy about it, make a video about it saying why he's not happy about it and just move on. But don't try to hide what you've done. Either way, if I was Saggy or Retro Bro who had dunked on Smash JT, I would also dunk on Pete for being someone who is a poser and hiding from a distance. Like, I would say he's a traitor as well, even though he hasn't made hate videos. He's still not supporting what he had pretended to support for so long.